And we are back. G-Mac and Winnie coming at you with another edition of the Outlaw Blitz podcast. Big fella, we won't get too dangerous today. I know you've had a little bit of a twisty weekend.
You sound under the weather too a little bit.
Yeah, throat's a little scratchy, dealing with sinus type stuff.
What in the blue hell was that song?
Oh, it's Jockey Blue.
Okay.
Really good. I heard it the other day, and I'm like, man, that's our opening.
Is that a new tune? Or?
No, dude, it's like 70s.
I was going to say, definitely had an old retro, like my dick has sideburns now type of feel.
Yeah. Yeah, mine has a ponytail.
It does. Not a man bun either. No, a ponytail.
No, full down the back.
It's feathered in the front, though. Yeah. What's going on, dude?
Not much. Daytona 500 day.
Yeah.
While we're recording.
I saw you cooked a nice piece of meat.
Yeah, I did a nice roast beef. You know, the thing is like, I should have went with my gut instinct.
Which was?
Go a little bit lower temperature.
Longer?
No. I think I had the time right.
Okay.
But I think I had the temperature about 25 degrees, a little bit hot, warm.
Okay.
They were all like 350, 375, and I'm like, I think I should be like 325.
And you came in, what, pretty well done?
Nah, sections of it were like medium.
Okay.
Like medium. But like most people like their roast beef rare.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Tender, though?
Yeah, for the most part.
Good.
You know, like down near the ends, it was like fucking shoe leather.
That happens, though.
But that's roast beef, right?
It is. It's why you roast it, because it's normally a hard-working muscle, tough cut of meat. But the best flavor comes from those cuts. So,
yep.
Well worth it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if I had a slicer, I'd have a nice sandwich
for
tomorrow, you know. But, again, you'd want it rare.
Right. Like, you want to, like, stained glass thin when you cut it, too.
Yeah, yep. So, where it's coming pieces.
Hell
like
yeah,
chunks
shredding apart almost.
Yeah, yep. So yeah, that wasn't bad, and I did green beans with it, and I'm on the diet, and I'm logging a lot of what I'm eating, which is helping because I'm seeing it.
Okay.
I could do a little bit better on the water, and I could do a little bit more water and a little bit less sugar.
Where do you find yourself getting the sugar from? Because it you don't realize the sources until you actually, like you said, start to log shit.
Nutty bars?
Oh, yeah. All right, that's an easy one.
No, so what I'm kind of doing is I started looking at the Noom. Have you seen Noom?
Yes.
You see commercials?
Yeah, sure.
It's really just an app that like kind of is a coaching type thing. So like, fan of the show, Buddy Townsy, he's down like 75 pounds in like 8 weeks. 8 weeks, yeah, 2 months. He's been since Thanksgiving. And he's doing, I can't remember the name of the thing he's doing, but it was like $395. You buy your food through them and all them. And he's doing phenomenal with it. I mean, obviously he's down like 75 pounds.
Right.
He's doing a really good job with it. And I was like, you know, here's the ultimate thing. If you or I, either one of us, are going to lose weight and you're going to get yourself back on track, there's no shortcuts. You got to do it the right way.
Right.
So ultimately, you know, the idea is don't take the shortcuts. Do the right path. Kind of, you know, like you can always lie to yourself. Oh, you know, whatever. I don't eat that much. And then you look at the shit and you're like,
yeah, you do.
So with Noom, it kind of breaks down anything you type in there. It'll tell you pretty much anything you do. And if there's how much of your day was green, how much of your day was yellow, and how much was orange, like stuff you should eat a lot less of.
Right.
So like, you know, certain things you eat and you're like, well, that's all orange.
Yeah, no shit.
But like a lot of stuff that's in the green, I like.
Right.
Like I'm a big vegetable guy, and certain nuts and certain just certain other foods, like, you know, and then the yellow stuff, which is like going to be like your chicken and your turkey and your, you know, that kind of stuff. So like my breakfast yesterday, I had a turkey and spinach omelet.
Nice.
That was all in the green.
Perfect.
You know what I mean? Perfect. So,
and I'm sure you were full as hell.
And I was.
Right.
You know, it's kind of that boredom eating's got to stop. It's just that stuff in the middle.
Right.
And I think it's because so to speak. You got an apartment this big down there,
Yeah.
and you gotta and you want people in it.
Yeah.
And then
That lonely
you got to get it
fucking-
down to where it's tiny.
That
and you
lonely little chair don't seem like it's filling it up. You got to
Right.
fill it up.
Right.
But no, with me, a lot of times it's not quantity, it's timing. I am a horrible fucking late night eater.
Yeah.
And then you go to bed.
And you're sleeping on
And
it.
you're sleeping on it. It's bad.
And it'd be different, though, if you weren't doing all the other stuff prior. Like
Right.
during the day, all the coffees, the this, the that.
Right. Coffee, not bad. It's what you put in it.
Yeah. Creamer, sugar, this, that. Yeah.
I'm considering, after talking with our buddy Ray, Phentermine, he's had real success with it.
Yeah.
So I have to go see our buddy Pat.
That used to be called Fen back in the day.
Way
My
back in the
sister
day.
lost a ton of weight with that.
But it has to be on a monitored program.
Yeah, it 100% does.
Right. So, the plan for me is I wanted to do it last week. I just got lazy. Is to start Arbonne this week. Our stuff that Scala gave us. And go from there.
So yesterday I ate it as a lunch. I had it as a lunch. Today I did it as a breakfast and I did a dinner. Right. So I'm in my negative calorie thing.
Yep.
I didn't do much today. It's Daytona 500 day, whatever. Now
your thumb is ripped, like shredded.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, from playing
Harry Potter.
Yeah, from playing the game. That fucking game is phenomenal, by the way. But yeah. So it's just making those small changes to start.
Right.
Like that's the big thing. Is I'm just trying to make the small changes to start.
The biggest thing I find, and I think it's our personalities, we're always in our own heads about everything.
Right.
So you're always constantly thinking about shit. And I find it easier when you can just, it's been said a million times. Food's a fuel. Food is meant to fuel you. It's not what your fucking life should be about.
Right.
And when it becomes second nature to just drink the shake and move on about your day, eat your salad, move on about your day, it becomes a hell of a lot easier than thinking about it.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is, if I can get this kind of in control, instead of grocery shop, I don't know. Because I enjoy cooking, but I don't. It's a pain in the ass too, because I want to set up my meals.
Right.
It'd almost be better if you had a thing where you had 5 dinner meals that are
You're
lean.
being the single guy.
And then you just put them in the fridge, and every day you take them out and heat them up in the oven or whatever.
Right. Our woman in the wind, Pat.
Yeah.
Has done really well with that setup. And I'll tell you what, the times that where we've been stuck together odd hours, she's cooking her dinner up in her little trays in the toaster oven. And fuck if you don't smell fantastic.
Yeah.
It all smells good.
Yep.
So
it's a balance, dude.
It is a balance.
If you can get the balance down, then the other stuff starts.
You look at the big number, like you said with Townsy, and like $400 a month. But if you break it down per day, like I said, like
$12 probably.
I spend that in Stewart's in the morning on my coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really not that bad.
No. And your grocery shopping is going to be more than $400 a month.
Absolutely. It's like $400 for 2 weeks, really.
Mm-hmm.
And how much shit is in there? How much shit goes to waste?
Right.
And that's the key with these prepaid meals is there is no waste. And there's no leftovers to go back and pick on.
No, right. So when you go in and you get a thing of Brussels sprouts, say,
right,
it's a portion thing. Like, hey,
correct,
okay, or shrimp. You know what I mean? Like,
because it's your food is your fuel. It's not your life,
right?
And that's how it's geared. But again, I think the coaching aspect. When you said Towns has a coach that he can call at any time. Mm-hmm. I think that's a good aspect to have because it helps keep you out of your head. Yeah,
and I went on the Noom and I just started the little trial thing there, and I'm not pressing it to anybody or anything like that. And they have it. Like if you need to, like they probably have like an ongoing thing where you can.
Right, you can probably either online chat somebody or call.
Yep,
but that's good stuff.
It's not bad, and it's good change, and I feel better.
Good.
I'll tell you when I felt best was when I did not eat dairy.
Really?
Yeah, a while back I did something where I didn't have dairy, and I stayed like mostly meat and veggies, and I stayed away from anything white. So potatoes,
bread,
white bread, rice, milk,
what ends up being your
eggs.
sugars.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, my joints started feeling better. I lost like 20 something pounds. And I eat like a king, like every day. I'm eating asparagus and a steak and shrimp.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Well, and the other thing is, too, we talked about it briefly last week, getting in the grilling season.
Yeah.
That's all stuff you can cook on the grill. There's no mess in the house.
Yep.
And it's easy cleanup. It tastes way better on the grill. It's mindset.
It is. It is. And then you're coming out of winter where you're kind of just sitting around.
Yep. It's hard when you don't. It's shit that compounds, and well, that's a fucking mess.
Yeah.
As we watch Daytona here, it all compounds. You don't feel good, so you're in the house and you don't want to go back out. There's nothing healthy in the fridge, but you're hungry. And then day one, well, fuck it. Tomorrow I'll go out and I'll shop. Well, I don't feel great tomorrow either. And then it's like the whole going to the gym thing. You go, and you take a day off, and all of a sudden the day becomes 2 weeks, and you're like, where do I haven't gone to the gym forever? You gotta stay on it.
So there's something particular about this area that drives me nuts a little bit. Yesterday, I looked for something to do. It's the middle of the fucking winter.
Right.
The mall is so shitty. Like on Saturdays when we were kids,
that's where you went.
We went to the mall. Your family went to the mall and you made a day of it. You walked around. Even if you didn't have the money to buy shit, you looked at stuff. You went to the arcade, spent a couple dollars. You had lunch in the food court. Maybe you caught a movie.
Yeah.
Not that way of life is like gone around here.
It is.
There's nothing around here that does that right now. So I don't know, man. Limited. It's one of those things you gotta kind of just gotta make your own way.
Yeah, you look at the calendar and you think it's really only another month or so of this, and we're going to be moving on to the spring.
Nice weather, yeah.
Nice weather, cut grass, baseball, all the stuff we enjoy. Getting back outside.
Speaking of things you enjoy, we got a gift today.
Really?
We did. I'm afraid to roll way off camera because I might not come back. BGS came through.
Okay.
And he brought me this license plate. And if you know what this is from the car on Entourage, their New York plate on their Cadillac.
Okay.
And he brought you this license plate.
Oh, shit. That's awesome. BGS
came through.
He wanted off that list.
He's on the list, though. He's the scurv on the curve. I told him we're going to put him out on the street.
That's awesome.
With a video camera. He's going to be a scurv on the curve.
Hell yeah! Thank you, Sal. That's really
it's
cool,
really cool, man. It's we're gonna find somewhere to get him up here
into the studio.
I'm just gonna put him down on the desk there in front of you.
Good stuff.
I wanted to keep him hidden. He came over and very well may be a new addition to the 24 Cross Media platform.
That'd be cool, man. Sal's got a lot to say.
Dude, I apologize. This my wheel chuck.
Get out
of my fucking. I am going, bro. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going. Jeez.
Are you back?
I don't know if I'm back. All right, I think.
We're back.
All right, we're good. Yeah, he has a lot to say, and he's a positive guy. He does a lot of he could be very successful, and he could also fucking crash and burn.
Right, because it's his own. Again, he's another guy that's in his head.
Yes.
He conveys Gary Vee to you, but he beats the shit out of himself. So, we talked about it during his interview.
And there's times where it gets repetitive about what happened. Like, listen, use what happened, fuel you to get to the future.
Break the cycle.
Right. So if you need it to launch you, okay, launch. You were here, now you're there. Right. But he would be very good.
That might be the show
I'd like to see him, if he does a co-host, have a female.
Yeah.
Because then you're getting an opposite perspective
to
counter the stuff. Yeah.
Breaking the cycle of BGS.
Yeah.
BTC.
No, just BGS.
Oh, just BGS.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, let's hop into our top 5.
All right. You put me on the spot. I'm not ready for you.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy, nope, didn't want that.
Uh-oh.
This week's top five: the top five movies or TV roles you'd like to play.
Now, this came about because I watched Days of Thunder yesterday, and I thought of you instantly.
Okay.
Nicole Trickle, the man behind the wheel.
Yep.
He was all about fucking speed and doing it his way. I forgot the one scene I forgot about the movie, and I'm like, holy shit, is when he's sitting with Robert Duvall, and he's like, you got to tell me what's wrong with your car. You know, if it's loose, we'll add or take out wedge. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
I'm like, holy shit. Like, he literally is a driver.
Yeah.
And had no idea how to break the car down. It was all feel.
Put me in the car and drive. I can drive. I can do that.
And then they showed him taking practice laps. Listen, if it's loose, it means you're fast. You know,
and you're on the edge, you're out of control.
You got to tell me how it feels. The funny scenes in that movie, the fact that him and who was the Ross, who was he was essentially his
Ross
rival.
Wheeler.
Ross Wheeler. He wasn't really a bad guy. They were just rivals.
Mm-hmm.
But when they got the rented car after they got out of the hospital,
no, that's Rowdy Burns.
Rowdy Burns, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They fucking get out of the hospital, get the rented cars, and show up, and those things are.
That's a true story. You know that, right?
Really?
That's Jeff Bodine and Dale Earnhardt did that for real.
No shit.
They were so bad, they went to a dinner and they both agreed they weren't going to drive, and they beat the shit out of the cars.
That's funny.
On the way over to dinner.
That's funny.
And it was like a bonding moment for them.
Right.
And they've talked about it on the Earnhardt Dale Jr. download.
That's cool.
Yep.
But excellent movie. Excellent movie. And it got me thinking, like I said, you with the racing. So, do you want to start it off?
Yeah, number 5, Will Hunting.
Okay.
Good Will Hunting, Matt Damon's role, Boston, Harvard, tough kid.
Yeah.
Just that whole thing. Like, that's not a far, the Harvard part, but it's not a far stretch of, like, where I grew up.
No, it's not. And I can totally see you in the role. Even physically, stature-wise, you and Matt Damon are a lot alike. Yeah, we're definitely a lot alike, sure, back then. Yeah, that's probably a really good fit. And out of my list, honestly, there's 2 like good physical fits.
Yep.
But for you, that would be one of them. My number 5 would be probably my easiest role, Doug Heffernan in King Queens.
Yeah, it would.
A lot of like the character. I think I've always been compared to him. Even when I had hair, people say that I used to look like him. Whatever. I've always loved Kevin James's comedic abilities. He's not over the top. He's natural.
He is.
He's natural. He can be goofy. Like Paul Blart.
Yep.
But Doug Heffernan will be super easy for me to play.
Yeah. No, that one lines up to you pretty good. Number 4, Robert McCall, Equalizer. It's Denzel.
Okay.
It's just the part. It's not, you know what I mean? He's like a retired badass mofo from like, I think maybe the CIA or something. And shit starts going sideways in his neighborhood. And he works at like a Home Depot. Really? And a guy robs the Home Depot store at gunpoint. And he kind of catches the tattoo of him. So like he goes back to his computers and all the shit he knows. And then next day you see him just wiping off this hammer and putting it back on the rack.
Oh shit!
And meanwhile the dude's fucking in a heap dead with a hammer wound.
That's awesome. How old is that movie?
2014, 11, 14, something like that.
Okay, I have to check that one out. Number 4, Lieutenant Daniel Kaffee, A Few Good Men.
Oh yeah,
Tom Cruise. Watched that movie again yesterday. If you forget how good Tom Cruise was, that like mid 80s to early 90s, to me was his wheelhouse. That's when his best stuff came out, and he was incredible. The only role I think in that movie, the only character better in that movie was Colonel Nathan R. Jessup.
Yeah,
and I couldn't pull that off, but I like Tom Cruise's stick-to-itiveness, the way he formulated stuff, and then that final scene where he finally gets it. He grills him, he gets him to break, and he's like, holy shit, I did it.
Well, because there was a lot riding on that, though.
Right.
If he didn't break him, he was going to prison himself.
Oh, yeah, he was getting court-martialed.
Right.
And he said he said it the day before, or Demi Moore said to him, if you see it, go for it. And he had him right on the edge. and he pushed him and he got it.
Yeah.
So great character.
We use words like honor and code.
It's fucking awesome.
And that's when he kind of knew.
Man.
Like, he stopped and he's like, I got him.
Yep. He had him on. You could tell at that point, this man lived in his own fucking world that was way different than the Marine he should have been.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Number 3, Jack from Titanic.
I could totally see you doing that.
You kind of show the rich people how to have fun with the little that you have.
Yeah.
Hanging out on a boat, being the fucking rubbing elbows with people, just personality, right?
Yeah.
And it's a stretch. It's not always the great, like he wasn't necessarily a good guy. He won his way on the boat in a card game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He wasn't a bad guy, but he was a scoundrel by the times.
Yeah.
By the times. Yeah. And you would get to do something you said you'd wanted to do more of, is dance.
Yeah. Yeah.
The dancing scene. So.
Yep.
Awesome.
And kind of a sexy scumbag.
Yeah, a little bit. Billy Zane was just a scumbag.
Right.
Yeah. Number 3, Master Chief Billy Sunday, Men of Honor.
Really?
Probably my favorite De Niro role.
That was the diving
one? All
one?
time, yes.
Cuba Gooding?
Yep. That is your ultimate flawed anti-hero.
Mm-hmm.
You saw how big of a piece of shit he was, and then he redeems himself.
Yeah. Well, do you remember the movie Crash?
I don't
Matt
know.
Dillon's in it.
No.
It's about like this cop, all different people, but I remember this part where Matt Dillon's a cop and he's kind of like, he says some inappropriate shit. He pats a female down or something. And, like, it's a problem and they want to press charges and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then there's an accident. And in that moment, he's not the scumbag. He's the guy that, like, really takes care of him. They're like, not this guy. And he's actually really good in the moment.
The 2 scenes that got me in that movie were the first one where he is days away, and I say he, Carl Bashir,
mm-hmm.
Cuba Gooding, days away from supposedly being able to test to be a master diver.
Right.
And he comes in and he smashes the radio. And he says, what makes you try so hard? What did he say to you that makes you try so hard? Be the best. Well, you are, Cookie, but I forget what they call the guy. Colonel's not going to let you pass on Tuesday, so don't show up. So you can see right there, he was in his corner,
right?
But he couldn't do anything about it.
Right.
But when he could do something about it was in that courtroom.
Yes.
When he got him to stand up and take those 10 paces with that suit on.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw that, Billy Sunday is an okay guy.
Yeah, yeah. It's a redemption type thing.
Yes, totally.
Number 2, McNulty, Detective on the Wire. He was everybody's. I'm trying to figure out a way to say this. He was like the motherfucker.
Yeah.
That fucker McNulty. Like, that's what you heard all the time.
On the Wire?
Yeah, and he'd go, what the fuck did I do? He pissed everybody off, but it was never from a place of, he was a little arrogant, he was cocky, and he pissed a lot of people off, but it was always, he was a man that loved that job, right. Being a detective. And even though he did some shady shit, he did it for the right reasons.
Right.
But, like, you could see how smart he was and how vindictive he was.
Right.
He goes through a whole sting on the Wire. They make their busts. They don't do it the way he wanted to do it. Like, hey, we can get the big guy, and they didn't want to do it. So they stick him out on the boat as punishment. So he finds the fucking title charts and everything so that the body lands back on that commissioner's fucking account.
That's awesome.
It's like, fuck you, that ain't my account. He goes, yeah, well, according to your guy McNulty on the boat, the title charts and this and that, the body started in the East.
Holy
so
shit.
It's not a Western problem, so they put the body on the Eastern.
Oh, that's funny.
So he has that kind of ability to
right.
him. And he's a little bit of a womanizer.
Okay.
But he loves his ex-wife, but she couldn't deal with him because of the job.
Right.
Because he loves the job and he's conflicted. But then he's like banging the district attorney, and that's why him and his wife are split.
Yeah.
And then they put him in. You have you ever watched Wire?
I haven't watched Wire.
You got to watch it because at one point they put him in a hotel room with hookers to be the guy to make the money. To tell him this when the money's out.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's out. He's saying the code word. They come in and he's got fucking, like, he went a little too far. by the time they get in there.
Oh, that's good. Number two. Benjamin Lefty Two Guns Ruggiero, Donnie Brasco.
Donnie Brasco. Lefty, huh?
Lefty. Again,
Yeah.
the flawed anti-hero. Lefty was by no means a good guy. He had like fucking 20 confirmed kills as a henchman for the mob. But he was true to the code. Yeah. And I think that's what made... That was kind of... In a fucked up world, it was a redeeming quality that he was true to the code. Almost too true to the fact that he was able to get fooled by Donnie.
Yeah.
But at the end, he's still... You can see even though he knew, he didn't want to believe it, and he loved him till the end.
Right.
The movie's different than real life.
Yeah, because that guy didn't get killed. He lived and died.
Yeah, he went to prison and died of cancer later on.
Yeah.
But again, you think of Al Pacino roles, he's usually the dominant alpha male in pretty much every movie he's in. And in this one, he is the kind of like the bumbling side guy. Yeah. Which, again, had a redeeming quality, which is what makes it one of my favorites.
There's only a few laps left to go in this 500.
There are.
I didn't realize that.
Well, there were 60 when we started, so...
Yeah. And my number one role, E from Entourage.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be an Entourage-ish.
Eric Murphy, he managed his best friend in Hollywood. The trickle-down banging effect, just being in Hollywood, the hot chicks, hanging out with your boys every day. Like, that is like the ultimate fucking dream, right?
Absolutely.
Like, you hit it big, and your whole crew goes, and he's like the guy that makes it happen. Yeah. Kind of like the guy that makes it happen.
Right,
you
know? My number one, Rudy Rudiger.
Rudy. Yeah, you're a big football guy. He played D-line.
He was underdog.
Underdog, yep. Notre Dame.
Yeah, it kind of checked all the boxes for me.
Yeah.
And that was a movie that came out when we were still in school.
I think it was our senior year.
Yeah. Yep, I remember watching it at Billy Osh's house before one of our home games.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the underdog, the good underdog story. And the fact that it was a true story. It did happen, and the guy, Rudy, is still touring, taking the promotional speaking tour to this day.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the story's amazing.
Yeah.
And, of course, Hollywood doctors it up a little bit and all that.
Yeah.
A couple that were kind of like on my list, Shane Falco.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun one to play. Another one was Braveheart.
Okay.
William Wallace.
Two I had picked for you. If I could pick two for you, one was Gold Trickle. The other was Buttermaker.
Buttermaker? Yeah.
Gotta be Buttermaker.
Yeah, they'd be good. One I had for you was off of a TV show. You remember the show According to Jim?
It was
Jim Belushi? Yeah. His brother-in-law, Andy.
I'd have to go back and watch.
He was goofy and funny. He was kind of a big guy. Jim comes in and Andy's got a laundry basket on his lap. He's like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I found out how to make popcorn in man-sized proportions." He threw him in the dryer and put it in the basket.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. I liked it. I like this a lot. It gets to show like what it's not every character. I don't think any of us outside like Doug Heffernan. I don't think we ever chose like a lead role. Most of the characters.
Well, no, Jack.
Okay. Oh yeah.
All mine are lead roles.
Are they?
For the most part? Well, no. McNulty. Well, probably McNulty is. He's the side. Jack is. McCall is, and Will Hunting is.
Yeah, that's true. One I could also pick for you would be Nick Nolte in 48 Hours.
Yeah.
You could definitely pull that one off.
Being an idiot, tough guy.
He was fucking hysterical, but he was funny as shit.
Yeah.
He was such a wise ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's personality, right? Like
right.
Your personality, you would be like, like the guy that's always got those slick lines. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I'm looking forward to. They didn't release it last summer, and I thought it was coming out, but maybe it's coming out this year. Was the new Beverly Hills Cop?
No, they're shooting it now.
They are shooting it now. Okay.
Yeah, or it's been shot. It
and
should
ready
be
to
done.
come out.
I think it's coming straight to Netflix.
Really?
I think.
Huh.
I think I'm not 100% sure. Anything else on that? Top fives?
We're good.
They were good. That was fun.
Yep.
That was fun. All right, let's move into. 5 crazy questions sponsored by Scalable Computers via GMAC.
Okay.
Number 1. What are you most proud of about yourself?
My boys.
Your boys.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and I'm sure you'd say the same for you. Your boys, your boy and your girls. Not always easy, not always, and life's not easy, but they're doing their thing and coming along, and
They're successful kids.
Yeah, that's what I'm proud
Especially
for.
the older one that you were really close with for a long time.
They're doing good, and Max has an interview tomorrow. I'll figure out.
We're in our 3rd episode. Max is due for.
He's got an interview.
Where
tomorrow.
now?
B-Dubs.
Oh boy.
So he's got an interview tomorrow. You
Oh,
want to make more money.
Boy.
So.
All right, number 2. Do you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
Oh boy. Wow. I guess most people would think I'm an extrovert. I don't always see it that way, because I can be, not say the life of the party, but I have no problems in social situations. But I'm not always. I'm more the one to listen and maybe spin conversation off of stuff you're talking about, and not really revealing so much about myself all the time. Man, I don't know. I'd say maybe a good balance of both. But I guess if I had to put a percentage on it, I'd say maybe 60-40, like extrovert to introvert.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we were sitting here and we were having just an open conversation of ask anything on the planet,
right?
I think I'd be shocked to hear more about things that you think or did or have than you would me. Because, like I just say,
right, and that like we even
and not in a way like that. Just like when I found out you wanted to be a barber, I was like, holy shit, no way.
Yeah,
like that's never
right. Or when we did our back-to-back grueling episodes about stuff, and it came out with some stuff that you said you were happy to hear that I had said or acknowledged or whatever, because I won't to everybody.
Right.
You can clearly, because we're so close, you'll always get shit out of me. The average person may not.
Right.
So,
number 3, what's your biggest mistake in life, and did you learn from it?
Yeah. Biggest mistake in life was to be an adulterer. It's not a bad thing to be unhappy in a situation, but there is a way to handle it. I didn't handle it the right way. So that's that.
And you learn from it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, that took stones just to vent that out.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. I gotta own my shit. It's mine.
Right.
So.
Listen, and you held it up and you said, hey, it's on me, man.
Yeah,
this is totally what it is.
Me. You can fucking paint it any way you want. At the end of the day, it is what it is. So
yeah. No.
There's no two ways around it.
All right. In grade school, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Ooh.
Number 4.
A chef.
A chef?
Definitely a chef.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. I used to watch. We joked about Price is Right on the sick days and stuff like that. I would watch PBS.
Julia Childs.
And The Frugal Gourmet. And later on, Emerald. And once Food Channel came out, it was...
Bam!
Yeah, then it was Mario and every other fucking cooking show I could watch. But yeah,
what was Emerald's? I thought Emerald's was Bam.
He was Bam, yeah. Yep. Yeah, and then, what made it cool was my grandfather worked. I would hang out there at my grandparents' house on sick days because Pop was home. He'd get home in the morning at 8:30 from a long night at Fox Cube, and I would cook him breakfast. So he was my guinea pig so many times. I learned how to make omelets at an early age.
Favorite recipe that you cook? What's your favorite thing that you make?
That I can make? Man, I don't know.
What's your favorite dish and what's your best dish?
Ooh. Oh, man.
Mine's the same, my corned beef.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people like when I make the chili. It's okay. I'm not a big chili guy per se. Like, I gotta really be in the mood for it. I don't know. I made this pork chop dish one time that was phenomenal. I was kind of go back to it. Yeah. was it black peppercorn crusted pork chops with like a red wine reduction, and it was good. It was good. I got to use my
Culinary
my
skills.
semester of culinary school
Yeah.
at work. Yeah.
Oh man, I know what my least favorite is.
Spaghetti.
The
Actually,
chicken wings.
yeah, they were fucking awful that day. I actually it's in regular like spaghetti sauce and chicken parm stuff like that. I like making sauce.
Oh, nice. And number 5, what song makes you unconditionally sad, and what song makes you unconditionally happy?
Oh boy.
Pops on the radio, and all of a sudden you're just like, "Fuck." I'm sure the happy one's probably easier.
Hmm.
I bet you Elvis. If I'm a guessing person, I bet both of those could be an Elvis song.
Absolutely. I was just gonna say.
And I was
Both
gonna
could
say, I
be
bet you
Elvis.
one of them, sad, could be Elvis because it drags you back to a certain point in time.
Right. I mean, there are Elvis songs that always on my mind would be a sad one. Just pretend, even though I love the song, is a very sad song. Um, Unchained Melody, because of
Ghost.
the time in his life where he sang it, and it was at the end of his life, but it was so fucking good. Would be one. I'd say an up song to me, like when it puts me in a good mood every time I hear "Burning Love." It's probably my Elvis song that always gets me up. Um, I guess always on my mind would be probably yeah.
I didn't even. I didn't.
My
think
way
of,
can go both ways too
Yeah.
because my grandfather loved loved the song "My Way." Both grandfathers actually did.
Probably depends on your mood that day.
It does. It does. I don't think there's any one song that can instantly make me sad.
Right.
But there are ones that are linked to sadness more.
Yeah.
So.
Happy, and this just came like thinking about it. Hands clap.
Okay.
Now there's a reason, because that was our first championship after like a 7-year drought.
Yeah.
We did the highlight video to that.
Yeah.
And I hear that song and I can see like in my head to the thing as we're running down the field.
Oh, and another good one too is Jay-Z.
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah.
Just because.
Well, just because of that moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's definitely, circumstantial.
Yeah.
You're driving down the road and you're thinking, like me. I'm thinking of my dad, and Stroke Race comes on. It could be very happy or it could be very sad.
Right.
But songs do that.
They do.
And smells do that too. You ever get a smell and you're like, it takes you right to a moment
absolutely.
in time?
Yeah. Or a place.
Yep.
Yep, absolutely. And there are, I think did you ever, like when you were a kid, did you make your own cassette tapes?
Yes.
So I had ones that were like themed. Like if I was in a miserable mood and I want to listen to miserable music, that's what I played. If I was fucking upbeat, or I had like a football day tape.
Right.
I'm in love with this girl tape.
Right.
You had all this different shit. And kids today, it's so easy, but that was the shit back in the day.
Well, they do it as their playlist now.
Right. We just made mixtapes.
Did you ever drive in the car, and you're driving, and it feels like you're in a fucking terrible mood or a great mood, and it feels like the DJ is just pushing all the buttons?
Everyone.
You're like, God damn, I just want to drive this car off a cliff right now.
Yeah. Dude,
I'm going to drive into the fucking... I'm going to drive in a strip club and get a rub and tug in the back now.
The weirdest thing was this song has always been the ultimate nighttime that's a bad wreck driving song for me. Lionel Richie, "Running with the Night," to me was always a song that you could drive at 1 a.m. with your sunroof open and then on vacation. It just fits perfectly.
Lionel Richie what?
"Running with the Night."
Yeah.
It just has that whole beat.
We've done this. We've discussed music like this before.
Yeah.
Ones that immediately turn up.
Yeah.
Man in the Box.
And ones you turn off.
Yeah. Yep.
Man in the Box immediately turns up.
Up.
Yeah.
Just the whole riff right from when it starts. So yeah. That was a fun 5 Crazy.
Hell yeah.
I enjoyed that. We are going to work into your segment.
Jesus. A lot of bad shit happening behind us right now.
Oh, it's going to tie right into what you're doing.
This is getting black
Stately
flagged.
Definitions NASCAR edition.
Yeah, as we watch another major wreck at Daytona.
Can they just call it? Because I got the winner. The guy
now?
who's leading right now is who I picked to win.
Holy shorts. All right, number one, NASCAR via the Urban Dictionary. An event where drunken rednecks and white trash gather around, get drunk, and watch other stupid white trash, whose names are usually penis-related, drive around at dangerously high speeds in car-shaped billboards, advertising for Diet Mountain Dew and Bud Light, doing nothing but turning left and crashing into each other, and there's a trailer park in the center of the track. After the race is over, the rednecks go home and beat their wife, cousin, sister because Dick Peterson didn't win. The trailer park in the center of the track is totally accurate.
It is. It's the fucking campers.
It is.
But they're more expensive than the guy that wrote that's house.
Right. That's it. He's in a 10x70.
Yeah.
And yeah,
they're in $1 million motorhome.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, in the middle. That's a good one.
Yeah. Jeff Gordon. This is actually used as a verb here.
Okay.
To occupy 2 lanes while driving in the city so that a jerk driver can't pass you. This guy behind me is trying to sneak past using the parking lane. What an asshole. I'm going to Jeff Gordon this motherfucker. Was he a good blocker?
Yeah. I mean, you have to win this race.
Right, yeah. The Dick Trickle.
Oh, boy.
A very rare but serious sexually transmitted disease only found in rural areas of Mozambique.
Also known as a NASCAR driver.
Yes, also known as a NASCAR driver who had a tremendous dirt career.
He was a phenomenal short track stud.
Yeah.
Legend. And he would race NASCAR. And people, like, that's the thing that excuse me for a second. That's the thing I think a lot of people don't understand. Is you look at it and you go, Dick Trickle, oh, what was he? Only because in NASCAR you saw him.
Right.
You didn't see him in wherever state he was from, where he was the most dominant racer.
He would be like a Brett Hearn.
Right.
For this area.
So, like last year, people go, oh, dirt racing, what's that? And they don't make no money. Matt Shepard made $700,000 last year. Talk about how much you make at your job there, Jethro. Right. You know what I mean?
Matt Shepard, the guy who was pissed off about his brakes when we saw him in the hotel.
Yeah, and Highland said some slick shit to him.
I didn't mean to. The pit stop pigeon, a truck stop prostitute, otherwise known as a lot lizard.
Yes, yep.
Have you ever heard the term?
Yeah. Oh, no, lot lizard, yeah.
Pit stop pigeon, that was good. The Dale Earnhardt, our redneck savior. He crashed for our sins. On the third lap, he rose again and ascended into heaven, where he rideth shotgun for our Lord, the Almighty God. And
number three. And
the Dale Earnhardt Jr., the son of the redneck god, Dale Earnhardt Sr., he does burnouts for our sins on Sundays.
Awesome. Tell me they're finishing this race because I'm winning money. And a lot of it.
In the last one, the Tony Stewart. To run over somebody.
Oh, no.
I was playing GTA and I Tony Stewarted the whole crowd of people.
Oh, that is fucking terrible.
It was now for...
He's announcing this race right now.
Isn't he making a foray into a different kind of racing now? Isn't he doing...
Oh, no, he owns the SRX series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I had seen him recently in like another fire suit. Like, what the fuck is he doing driving?
Yeah, no, he owns the SRX series, which is they're kind of like a late model type car that is either on pavement or dirt.
Okay.
Pretty cool series. Pretty fun to watch. Like smaller racing, like 30 laps, 40 laps. Nothing too long.
Gotcha. All right, that's what I got.
Nice. That was pretty fun and pretty...
They're pretty good, pretty accurate in some aspects.
Yeah. Yeah, they weren't bad.
I do have a over-under for you.
Okay. Over and under, brought to you by Winnie. This, remember I said this speaker it sounds like it blew out.
Really?
Almost, yeah.
I have another pair at home. I'll bring it to you. I don't know if
all of a sudden it's just like
right. Yeah, I got to hold another pair of them and use.
Staticky at the end.
Black Rifle.
Yeah. There's a Guns N' Roses car in the race today too.
No shit.
No shit.
Hope he doesn't fucking sing like Axel does now. Did you happen to see him singing at Lisa Marie's?
No,
Oh,
I did
dude,
not.
it was bad.
He looks like the lady from Throw Mama from the Train.
Mama Fratelli. Totally, 100%. He did November Rain, and he played the piano beautifully. And then he went to sing, and I was like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, how many fucking 8-balls and fucking alcohol and everything else to ruin your voice?
And I know you can't stand Kiss, but Paul Stanley, when you sing falsetto for so long, it destroys your fucking voice box.
I wonder how, like, Barry Gibb does it.
You know, I don't know. Because he still sings it beautifully.
Right.
He does. All right, number 1, nacho cheese sauce. It's like Cheese Whiz.
Cheese Whiz, overrated.
I agree.
Yeah, I wouldn't really put it on anything. Like, yeah, no, I'm good. Overrated.
Okay. The only thing I would say it's passable on would maybe be like if you're in Philly and they use Whiz on one of their cheesesteaks.
Yeah, even then.
But even if I'm making the stuff at home, even regular nachos, I'm using shredded cheese.
Yeah, okay. Just melt it on the top.
Yep. Number 2, this right up your alley, crock pot dinners.
Oh, underrated. Highly underrated.
Way underrated.
Set it and forget it. You know, you come back and it's usually the most tender fucking meat you have or chicken.
Crock pot can't fuck it up.
Soup, whatever. Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yep. Number 3, tuna casserole.
Underrated.
Love tuna casserole.
Love tuna casserole. I like when they break the crumbs on the top and it like has a nice hard shell on the top.
Now, with or without peas?
With.
Thank you.
With peas.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right. We're on the same fucking wavelength here. Number 4, I had to throw a racing one in today. Restrictor plate racing.
It's only a couple times a year, so I'll say underrated.
Okay.
Overall, overrated. You don't want to be in that environment multiple times in a year.
Okay.
You can't see. You know, like go on the throughway and be in bumper-to-bumper traffic. Now imagine it moving 200 miles an hour.
Right. And everybody's going.
And you're just seeing the car in front of you. You got very limited. The mind stress of that, I don't think these guys would last 10 years if that was every week.
Let me do a part B to this then. ARCA racing.
Oh, underrated.
Okay.
ARCA?
ARCA's where all the cars are the same spec.
No, you're thinking IROC.
Oh, IROC.
That's gone now.
It is gone?
Underrated.
Okay.
Because when they're even, now it's on the driver to make it happen. And that took the, like, listen, NASCAR, technically, they're supposed to be even. Like, every race, race division, quote unquote, should be even, right? Like, these are the rules that you can play up to or down to.
Right.
Weights, minimum weights, maximum weights, wheelbases, tires, engine displacement, the whole deal. But ultimately, money can handle that. In IROC, money, manufacturer, none of that mattered.
Right.
You got in a car and you ran, and it was like kind of like, hey, who can run the best?
Now, did you find in an IROC series that a bad driver could fuck it up for a lot of people?
Yeah.
Because now you're all running in a pack because your cars are the same.
Right.
And this asshole turns right.
Well, and that's what would happen to some of these guys that are like open wheel guys.
Yeah.
Because they'd bring in Steve Kinzer. They'd bring in Julio Castroneves. They'd bring in, like Indy, and they bring in World of Outlaws. They bring in rally car people, and now you're in a draft. Now that's only the advantage goes to NASCAR on that.
Right, absolutely, because it's their.
And these guys are like, I'm they don't understand the draft like that, and then boom, you wreck half the field.
You're not skidding through turns fucking 2, 3, and 3, 4.
Right, but could you imagine an IROC now because NASCAR has like so many road courses?
Right.
Could you imagine them on a road course with Helio Castro? The same and rally racers.
Scott, what's his name? They always brought him in. He was the ringer.
Yeah, Pruitt.
Scott Pruitt. Yeah, those guys were phenomenal.
But that's what I'm saying. Could you imagine now an IROC with all them people coming?
Right.
Because like Chase Elliott's a phenomenal road racer.
Right. That's why, again, I guess maybe our modern day Dick Trickle would be Robbie Gordon. I've always been a big Robbie Gordon fan. Limited success on the NASCAR circuit, but
still won
all over the place elsewhere. He's a fucking big deal.
Huge deal.
So,
yep.
Number 5, baby wipes and man wipes.
Underrated.
Yeah.
I had dude wipes in here that made you feel a certain sort of way.
They were so nice.
You were like, these things got me feeling a certain kind of way right now.
They smell good. They do the job perfectly.
They have like a menthol for your asshole.
It is. It's like your asshole just smoked a Newport.
Yeah, they're different, man. They hit different. Like baby wipes are one thing, but to get like one of those where it's
Right.
got like,
yeah, you know you're clean and it feels it.
yep. I always have to go pat dry after though.
Right. You go back
because
to
it
the one
feels
toilet
too
paper,
weird.
Yeah, you pull up. Nah, my asshole.
You gotta go in there and go.
You're almost like you don't want to pull them up feeling like the start of swamp ass, even though you know it's not.
Yeah.
Because it's just a little too damp.
Yeah, it's just too damp. You're like, what is that?
Oh,
That's probably what Sal feels like every day after leaving his boyfriend's house.
Oh God. Oh man, that's my over/under.
Oh, nice, not bad. Did you have any rabbit hole this week at all?
Rabbit hole this week.
Or what'd you watch? What were you watching?
The inside of my eyelids when I could.
Yeah, I watched a few things.
I did watch. Tops came out, so I watched some case breaks. Super weird. If you're in the hobby, and you're collecting, you're probably unhappy right now. They've geared it to where you've almost got to buy. There's hobby grade packs, which is the stuff you buy at a card store.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's retail packs, which you buy at your Target, your Walmart, whatever. The fucking odds are so shot for retail packs now. It's like you got to buy hundreds to get what you would get in maybe 40 retail or 40 hobby packs.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it should be just a level playing field. Here's the box. Whoever gets them, gets them.
Or I could see if it was like 1 in 8 packs, and then for retail it was 1 in 12. But it's like 1 in 8 for hobby and 1 in 44 for retail.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So the average guy who doesn't have a card store in his area, if they're not buying offline, he's kind of fucked.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of comedians, just stand-up acts, stuff like being said, crazy shit being said. I wish this guy goes, I'll send it to you. He's like, hey, how old are you? And the kid's like 14. It's like, we sexually active? And his parents are. He's like, no. He goes, what the fuck did he ask me if he ate? Have you ever eat something? I'm gonna fuck it up, but anyway, he's like, did you ever eat shrimp or something like that?
Yeah.
And the kid's like, no. He's like, well, wait till the first time you go down on a chick. It's got the same kind of kick, and then you're like, oh, I kind of like this. It's an acquired taste. And he's talking to a 14-year-old kid like that.
Oh my God.
In the crowd. It was pretty funny.
Comedians have a license to be complete assholes, and it's great at times.
Yeah, but that's what their job is, make light of
Jimmy Carr is one of my all-time favorites.
He's the English guy, right?
Right. And he is fucking brutally dry.
Yeah.
And hysterical.
Yeah.
He was really good at a couple roasts. That's where I first saw him, was at a couple roasts. And then they had I forget what TV channel had, like they were doing like comedy battles.
Yep.
And he ruled that show because you were coming off the cuff with fucking insults, and he had one after another after another.
Yeah. I saw a lot of Jeff Leeson this week.
Nice.
And Jeff is getting even better.
Yeah. And mentioned our show.
Yeah, mentioned our show and a live video that he was doing. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Like, just you get thumbing through stuff when you can, but honestly, a lot of my excess time. Like, I had Boston this weekend. We watched Pretty in Pink.
Yep.
Basketball, and now he's into South Park. So we watched some of the South Park things.
That's good. Started
Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. And he was like, what? There's a movie? And he gets to the point where Cartman goes, how about you suck my balls, Mr. Garrison? He goes, Eric, what did you say?
Oh.
And he pulls up the bullhorn. I said, why don't you suck my balls, Mr. Garrison? Yeah, he's like, the first time I tried showing him South Park, he's like, what is this stupid cartoon?
Dude, I would love to see a combined movie that had Beavis and Butthead, South Park, and Family Guy.
Oh my God.
All
it would
the
be
characters
so bad.
in one movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And if you haven't seen it yet, Bill Burr's cartoon, F is for Family.
I heard it's really good.
It's older, and I told Leggy about it and Blum and Spielberg. And Spielberg and Legg are watching it now, and they're cracking up.
Yeah.
And the next door neighbor is 100% Bogart.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out now.
It is. Once you get there, you'd be like, holy shit, it is. It's a good time.
I know Ann took Caden to see Joe Coy in Albany Friday night.
Yeah.
I forget what Proctor's or whatever the big downtown theater is there. They have a lot of great comedy.
The Egg, I think it was, or the Palace.
The Palace, yes.
Yeah.
In fact, the night I wish I had known the night we had gone to see Teddy Swims at one of the clubs down there at the Palace was Kevin James that night.
I saw him, which was not funny.
Who was at UPAC the night before because there were pictures of him eating lunch at the Mexican restaurant by Adams there.
Yeah. Casa Vallarta. Did you see who was in Kingston this week?
Christopher Walken.
Oh yeah, no. Besides him,
No.
Frank the Tank from fucking Barstool.
Really?
He was at Dallas the other day. He was at Dallas Hot Wieners.
No shit.
Uptown the other day. Frank the Tank.
Oh, that's awesome.
They took a picture with him. Zach Swart took a picture with him, and Frank the Tank's pants were like about midway down. They fell off his ass.
Oh, that's awesome.
Frank the Tank.
Yeah, Christopher Walken. I don't know if they were filming something local.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of film stuff happens here now. So
a lot of film stuff. I didn't realize the one chick that I absolutely love, who is in that new witch show, also played The Rock's daughter in.
Sure, keep it going.
You know what I'm
I have
about?
no idea.
I'll show it to you afterwards. She had filmed a movie at City Hall when Carly was still working for the city of Kingston, and Lauren had like a non-speaking role in the movie.
Really?
Yeah, there is a lot of stuff filmed around here.
Well, the Hudson Valley Commission makes it so.
The bowling alley, have you been in it? Probably not in a long time. Totally repainted because they shot the second, what's going to be the follow-up to The Big Lebowski.
Oh, really?
Was filmed in Sorties Bowlers Club.
Well, there's probably not a lot of bowling out, quote-unquote, old-time bowling alleys like that.
Yep, the walls inside are now repainted with the name of the bowling alley that was used in the movie.
So I'll leave it like that.
They did. Yeah.
It would be smart too.
Well, he needed to because that bowling alley is.
I just want a shit ton of money.
Nice. Awesome. Who won the race?
Ricky Stenhouse.
Awesome.
I wonder if Wayner. I text Wayner. I wonder if Wayner's gonna.
Did you put it through DraftKings or through FanDuel or?
Wayne Hummel. I'll take Chase Elliott and sleeper pick is Ricky Stenhouse. That's who won, right? Stenhouse Jr. You're looking right at the TV.
Well, he's a Kroger car. I'm looking for a name. I just keep seeing Kroger racing.
Stenhouse. Yep.
There you go.
He's been good there. He's been good there every fucking year, dude. He's been good there every year. Let's end on a high note. I get to go celebrate.
That's good.
Yeah. Hopefully, a little bit more of a teaser. Things are kind of waving and wobbling. And
I got to say, didn't feel great sitting down. Still feel a little under the weather, but I feel a lot happier. I think today was a fun episode.
It was a very fun episode, and the fun is only going to get bigger and better.
Sounds good to me.
I'm good.
All right. Then for GMAC, this is Winnie. This has been the Outlaw Blitz podcast. And as always,